Doom the Dark Ages because we just had the first weekend of the game itself, and typically this is when player numbers spike. This is when we get a chance to see how much of a success or a failure a game actually was. And I have to admit that I'm surprised to say that it does look like Doom the Dark Ages flops.
You're lying!
It seemed like it had so much marketing, so much hype, so much conversation. It was at every showcase and stuff. And also, it's the newest game in the Doom trilogy. Doom 2016 had a massive fan base. Doom Eternal is considered by a lot of people to be the best shooter of all time. Why is it that the Dark Ages seems to have failed? Now, we're going to talk about it. But part of it is just the fact that I wonder how much of this is the Game Pass effect. People have been discussing the fact that sometimes with games, this is the first Doom to launch day and day into Game Pass. Now, people debate about the Game Pass effect, about if you're getting a game for free, how much that's going to affect the full price sales. If you're paying $70, $80, $100 for a game, how many people instead are going to go, oh, I'll get it on Game Pass? Or how many people say, oh, it's on Game Pass, it must suck? I do see that talking point. Now, obviously, that's not every single...
You stupid fuck! Look at you now!
Listen, I understand that people want this game to fail. They wanted this game to fail. They go by Steam concurrent numbers. And that's something that started with PlayStation Fanboys. They are the ones that started looking at Steam concurrent numbers, especially when it comes to Xbox games. And they used it as ammunition. But guess what? We used it as ammunition for Concord and Marathon. So we're using it also. But they used it and they said Doom was a failure. I showed you guys receipts. Guys like Dreamcast Guy said Doom is a failure. It flopped only because of Steam concurrent numbers. Now here we are, 3 million people, 3 million players. Doom the Dark Ages is the biggest launch in its history, 7 times faster to 3 million players than Doom Eternal. Now people want to say, yo, yeah, I know it's faster than Doom Eternal, but Doom Eternal wasn't in Game Pass, and this is what's happening. I am sick and tired of people acting like when they say players, or we have 10 million players, that it's like Xbox the only people that does this kind of shit. I'm pretty sure people talked about Assassin's Creed Shadow with how many players they had in other games. When you think about music, they don't say how many albums people sold anymore. They bring up, yo, how many streams. Eminem last album had this many streams. It broke a record for him. We are in a different day. Just because PlayStation occasionally say their sales, but they say players sometime also. Don't forget what their new CFO said last week. Sony's new CFO. It's not about console sales. It's about engagement and MAUs.
Yeah.
Well, PlayStation guys love to bring up sales. My boy Kloop responded to Bethesda talking about the players, the 3 million players for Doom, and he said, fuck Steam concurrent. And this guy, Quentin, came out and said, how many sales though?
It doesn't fucking matter.
Just shut up, bro. Y'all said the game flopped. 3 million players in a week is not flopped. That's not flop. Now Concord flopped. That shit flopped, but this is not a flop. Stop it. You know, it's just annoying, these guys' behavior. Mighty Keith said, but Weirdo said Doom the Dark Ages flopped because of Steam count. Look at that. Mighty Keith, who is the known Xbox hater and the PlayStation fanboy, has something positive to say about Doom. And he's right. People said it flopped. But Oliver Darko, there he goes. He don't like to hear that positive shit. He comes in and say, you have to break it down. Of these 3 million players, not copies sold, he had to let people know, not copies sold, more than 2 million are on Xbox, including Game Pass, which means PlayStation, Steam, Battle.net, and PC Game Pass share the remaining 1 million. Now, this guy is all of a sudden a professor.
What number comes between 2 and 4, Beetlejuice?
25.
He's a mathematician. He knows numbers. Listen, he's talking about the numbers because Christopher Dream, he said that over 2 million of the players were on Xbox. And he said that's the power of Game Pass. But Oliver Darko is up here breaking it down. Yo, man, you can't say this game was a success because only 2 million people played it on Game Pass and the remaining one. So it's not really a success. Look at you guys. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves, man. Damn. Y'all need to worry about what's going on with PlayStation. What's going on with Bungie. How come PlayStation doesn't have any games? You guys are absolutely obsessed with Xbox. The numbers. Yes, 3 million players is good. I don't know what else to say. What do you guys want? What the hell do you guys want? Gamer Up said, that isn't low. Those huge games, they on in a service with 30 million plus users. Getting those kinds of day one, I suppose, will get better numbers. I didn't know what to trust in terms of success, player numbers or units sold for premium games.
Cause he don't know diddly squat. And neither do that big fat black that's sitting on the other side.
What? Now these guys are one. Oh, wait a minute. Did Gamer Up, who's the guy that blocked me, by the way? I guess he didn't want to be in none of my videos. But he says 30 plus million users. Is he talking about the Xbox console? Is he actually saying with 30 plus million users, it should be getting better numbers? Is he actually going out there and saying that? These guys bash Xbox console sales. How low the numbers are. It's lower than the Xbox One generation. But now he's trying to say with 30 plus million console sales, it should be better. You mean like with 77 million console sales and your Game of the Year 2024 sold 1.5 million? Yeah, it should be better, right? Stop this shit. Stop it. And look, it's so funny because Xbox has been doing this for years. Way back in the Xbox One generation, they stopped talking about sales, console sales, and also game sales, especially when you guys know Game Pass is a thing. Y'all know Game Pass has over 35 million subscribers. Game Pass is doing well. So you know a lot of people is going to play Doom in Game Pass. But yet and still, these guys still bring up console sales. Still bring up sales. How much did Doom sell? If Xbox is happy, if Bethesda is happy with the numbers, that's all you can go by. You dumbass ponies is up here trying to critique and look at every single thing with a microscope. Like, oh yeah, this is what needs to happen. They need to sell this many copies. Game Pass is this and this. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear it. Doom is doing fine. Bethesda themselves said it broke a record for id Software. I don't know what else to say. I'm not making that shit up. They said it. They're happy with the numbers. But people wanted this game to fail. They saw the Steam concurrent numbers and they instantly started to do videos. You saw thumbnail after thumbnail bashing the game, said it flopped. It's over with. Dreamcast Guy couldn't wait to do a damn video bashing the game. But here we are, man. The game did not flop. Xbox and Bethesda is happy with how the game is performing. And this is just the beginning. The game has only been out for 1 week. For 1 week. And 2 million people on the Xbox console played it. We don't know how many was Game Pass. We don't know how many bought it. It doesn't matter. 2 million people played the game. It's about engagement and MAUs, right? That's what Sony's new CFO said. But look, I gotta go. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you happen to stumble across my channel, you think I'm decent enough, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? And if you subscribe, please hit that notification bell to know when my black ass is doing some new content, baby. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love. Shit. Damn, man.